Welcome to this home buying process workshop today. Thank you for being here on this beautiful Saturday morning. We have a lot of resources for you today. So we're grateful that you're here and we hope that you get a lot of good information today. My name is Joanna Jimenez. I am the program manager for Take Group Milwaukee at the Urban Economic Development Association. And we have an agenda full of great resources for you today. So thank you again for joining us. Here's some housekeeping things before I get into the agenda. Please feel free to put your questions in the Q&A function of this webinar. And we will have a session at the end of all the presentations to address those questions that you may have, okay? But I'm pretty sure that some of the questions will be answered as our panelists are, presenting their information. This presentation will be available after the webinar. We will definitely send you the PDF of the presentation. The presentation has live links in it, meaning that when you open up that document, you can click on certain links and it'll take you to the website that has more information for the resources that you're looking for. We will also be recording this webinar and it will be available on our YouTube channel, and you will also receive a link for that. So that if you miss something, it's only a 45-minute presentation, so you may miss something, but we will get you those resources in various forms so that you can have them and you can share with someone else that, may be in need of that, of all of this great information today. So this webinar, it is hosted by our good friends at the Sherman Park Community Association. So we also have a few other webinars that we're presenting today, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But here's the agenda. So we will have a welcome from the Executive Director of the Sherman Park Community Association, Mabel Lamb, and Jermaine Alexander, the Housing Manager. So the webinar will comprise of the counseling agencies. Will give you some resources when you're starting to think about buying a home. The City of Milwaukee has a lot of resources to help you become a homeowner as well. We will hear from lending professionals about the financing options that you may have to buy a home. And then we will also hear from an experienced realtor so that he can explain to you the process of being represented in the home buying process. And then, like I said before, we will take questions at the very end. So I thank you again for being here. Let me tell you a little bit about Take Group Milwaukee. We are a membership consortium that, is comprised of different professionals and organizations that are dedicated to help people buy, keep, and fix a home. And so, like I said, the links are live. Please visit our website at any time or call our hotline if you have any specific questions, any specific resources. So like I said before, we are putting on Sherman Park Community Association and Take Group Milwaukee are putting on this series of webinars for you today. So we are currently in the home buying one. If you know a current homeowner that needs resources to fix or rehab their property, we're having another one at 11 a.m. And we also have resources for renters because not everybody is a homeowner right now, or, it's just that situation. So we want to be able to bring resources to renters as well. So if you know anyone, or if you want to jump on any of these other ones, please check our Facebook or our website for those links to get into those. Okay. So without further ado, I am going to present Mabel Lamb, Executive Director of Sherman Park Community Association. Welcome, Mabel.
Good morning, all. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning. I thank each and every one of you for joining us this morning to hear more about home buying, home repair, and resources for tenants as well as owners. I thank Take Root Milwaukee for assisting us.
Did we lose Mabel? Can anyone else hear her?
No.
I'm sorry, Mabel, we can't hear you if you can hear us.
Thank you all for joining us.
Jermaine, do you want to say a few words before we move along? Mabel, we couldn't hear you.
Yes, just want to welcome everyone. Our
our guests, our residents, and those that are tuning in from outside of the Sherman Park neighborhood. Definitely want to send a special thank you out to all of the housing professionals that are joining us this morning to share all the valuable information. I would like to welcome those that are attending this particular workshop to also join the other two. It may not necessarily pertain to you, but you could definitely share the valuable information with someone that could potentially utilize the resource and the services. So definitely welcome you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, well, let's just move right along. Before I ask the next speaker to come on, I do want to answer a couple of questions. Yes, you will be receiving a link to this recording, and no, the participants will not be able to have speaking. It's a lot of people registered, but we will take your questions at the end. Okay. Welcome, Maria from Axe Housing.
Morning. My name is Maria Santos, and I am the Family Experience Manager, Housing Counselor at Axe Housing. And it is a great day, and what a great day to get started and give thought to perhaps getting your information in order to hopefully become a homeowner. So I'm here to try to give you some information regarding Axe Housing and what we as a housing counseling agency can do to assist in getting you to that goal. So our mission is pretty simple. It's empowerment through home ownership, and we truly believe in that statement. We think that families will gain strength and gain wealth by being empowered with being homeowners. And our vision is to create vibrant neighborhoods through home ownership. Just a little bit about our historic impact in the time that we have been doing our work. So our average family size is 5. As you can see by the race demographics, we really address our African-American community, our Hispanic community, Asian community. We know that there are larger barriers in those communities, and we certainly pay attention, and we do all that we need to make sure and ensure that they are getting all of the information necessary to make the best decisions possible. In 2019, 80% of the homeowners earned less than 80% of the county median income. So again, we have a mission. We have a mission to help all families, but particularly families that are in need of our assistance and need the information to make those best decisions. 33% of the families earn below 53% of the area median income. That's very telling, and we are certainly here and recognize that fact and here to ensure, again, that we educate. We do the pre-education counseling so that we can hopefully put a family in a better position. And many, many times we are putting that family in a better position by putting more money in their pocket to help with other monthly expenses. And then there's some information there that everybody can take a look at, but we can certainly go on. Homeownership builds wealth. Ownership can be cheaper than renting. Many times we have families that are paying $800, $1,000. The other day I had somebody paying $1,450 a month in rent plus the water bill. That is very, very large chunk of the family income. So we definitely want to be able to give the resources needed and work with our bank partners to see what we can do about reducing that rental, that housing payment. Stable monthly payments. So again, there's no need in the future, if you're in a fixed rate loan, that you're going to see those those rent increases. So definitely there's stability there. There's opportunity to build equity. Absolutely. If we have families that are looking at a lot of our affordable lending programs and our affordable homes, we definitely are seeing a family build equity for their future, for themselves and for their children. There's a lot of tax advantages to be had, and definitely we have conversations around that information so that families prepare and know what those tax advantages are. There's freedom to make changes. When you're locked into a rental situation, there is no opportunity or limited opportunity for you to be able to do things that you would like to your home. So definitely the freedom to do those DIY projects in the future. And that's always exciting for the family and the children of the family. Build your credit. We definitely give you the resources, and we work with our bank partners on how to build credit, what it is, what does it mean to build credit, not just to get yourself ready for your purchase, but how to continue to build credit for your future, how to protect that credit so that those resources that are available to everyone will be available to you as well. And you will have a smoother process because of those good credit scores that perhaps you're working very hard to build on. And then it's a solid investment. Of course, real estate is a solid investment, and I keep talking about building wealth for you and your family's future. So very good. ACT's unique service model. I'm here to talk a little bit about what services we have available. So we have a home buyer counseling service, and that is happening in two ways. We do one-on-one, which is very beneficial to a lot of our families. A lot of our families enjoy the ability to be able to have that video conference and to have that one-on-one to break down individually what those steps are for that family to become ready for home ownership. And then we also have a self-paced online counseling option available, and that's eHome America. That is a wonderful program that we've started making available to our families as well. For those folks that are working first shift or second shift, or know that on Sunday is a really good time to get online and take this self-paced education, that's certainly something that you can consider. Right now we're offering a $25 fee on that, and it definitely worth the $25 investment to get yourself ready with that pre-education. After that happens, you will meet with me or one of the other counselors, and we will make sure that you're satisfied with that education and keep you moving forward, and hopefully get you pre-approved soon. We have a real estate brokerage team. They are fantastic. They have a lot of experience combined between the group, and they are there to help you. They're city tax foreclosures, and they have that relationship with the city to have an expectation and a hope that those transactions are going to happen smoother because of the experience that they've had and doing many of those in the past. And they're going to help the family purchase affordable, sustainable homes. What is your budget when you start? And I think that you can have very realistic conversations with your real estate agent regarding what the best options are for you. We also have a program, it's ACTS Lending, and that is, I would say it's a micro loan that we have that we're able to utilize and share with our families. That loan will assist a family to purchase and rehab a home that perhaps is a city foreclosure, or a home that's on the market that needs at least $25,000 in rehab. So there's an ability for us to do some lending if there is a family that perhaps isn't quite meeting those lender guidelines. And we have some terrific lenders that are able to show some flexibility, but this is a second option for our family. And then we have our rehab counseling department, and they do a wonderful job of guiding you, the family that chose this city foreclosure route. They guide you, they empower you, they walk you through that whole home buying process the whole home buying, or my goodness, the rehabilitation process of getting your house ready so that you can move in. And we have an expectation and goal that your house will be ready within a 6-month period. It's too nice outside. I need to be outside. All right, this is an example of one of the city foreclosure properties and one of the families that we recently assisted. And I have to tell you that this is one of my favorites because I certainly helped Phoebe and her family achieve this, and it was just a wonderful experience. The purchase price you can see is $15,000. With a rehab counselor, they came up with their scope of work and the repair cost of $38,400. The minimum investment to get into this program, the AX loan, and to do the city foreclosure is a minimum of $3,500. Doesn't mean you stop saving at $3,500, but that's a minimum that you need to get started. AX loan, they were able to utilize that AX lending loan that I talked about earlier, and that loan was for $44,900. And at the time that the Alexander family purchased their home, there was grant money available for $5,000. So this total investment for them was $53,400. You can see what their monthly payment is. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance has been reduced to $583. So when I mentioned earlier, there's a family out there yesterday that I talked to that's paying $1,450, and you see the option and hope that they will be paying perhaps what the Alexanders are paying monthly. That is a huge savings, folks. So please know that we're here to help for that. How to get started with AX Housing? Complete your online registration and do your online orientation. It's very simple. You go to our website, www.axhousing.org, and it's a free online orientation, 40 minutes or so. And there you're going to have access to all of the information needed to move forward once you complete that orientation. You're going to submit and work with the admin associates to complete your documentation that's needed for your counseling. There's a small credit report fee, $24 for an individual, $48 for a couple. Again, small investments to know what actually is your plan and what's your timeline. We come up with all of that during your intake counseling appointment that happens next. So by the time you finish your first intake appointment, you really should know what your timeline is based on that first financial analysis. And what is that action plan? Is there credit to take care of? Is there savings that you need to work on? You have a full understanding of where you stand to prepare for home ownership and have that timeline to work with. Last thing, we are on Zoom right now. Like many folks that are still not open to the public, AX Housing is still doing those Zoom appointments online, and they're just as seamless as a one-on-one. This slide is up there for our banker friends, our lender friends. This is the pathway to home buyer certification for pre-approved borrowers, or perhaps you're sitting out there listening to this webinar this morning and you're already pre-approved. You can certainly follow the steps and do the online orientation. You can have your one-on-one follow-up after, and that's an hour, and it really is going to cover any grants that might be available. That's a big for our first-time families, and there's many opportunities for down payment closing cost assistance. We have rehab grants, so we never want to have any family leave any funding on the table when it comes to home ownership and getting your first house. So please know that that we're there to give you that information. And this last slide is the AX Housing team. I just want everyone to know that there's so many people at AX Housing that are vested and interested in making sure that you become that first-time home buyer. You meet with me as a housing counselor, and you're not done. You get a second teammate that might be a real estate agent. You might add to that team and have a rehab counselor. So there is a definite team work and team atmosphere at AX Housing when it comes time to making sure that we do everything possible to get you ready for home ownership. So thank you. And I look forward to serving all of you, and please give us a call.
Thank you so much, Maria.
Yeah.
That's a lot of great information. And again, I just want to let everyone know that this presentation will be available to you. And if you want more information on Axe Housing, please use the links in the presentation, or you can always go to our website at takerootmilwaukee.com. And there are 3 other housing counseling agencies throughout the city that can also help you with these processes. But Axe Housing has a unique and very special program to help people become homeowners. So I encourage you to go along and visit our website, or Axe Housing website, to get the process started for you to become a homeowner. So up next, we are going to have Benjamin Sanchez from the City of Milwaukee with all of their great resources for people who want to become a homeowner. Welcome, Benjamin.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you everyone for taking time on this Saturday and for being here with us. And also those individuals that are not here today but are looking at this presentation in the future on YouTube, please reach out to us in any way that we can help you. We are going to have presenters today that are going to talk about the lending process, about the real estate process, about the home buyer education process. And today my goal is to talk about City of Milwaukee housing programs. I work with the City of Milwaukee Department of City Development, and within the department, I work specifically within the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation. And my goal is to help individuals and families try to fix homes, buy homes, investors, responsible investors try to fix homes as well for individuals that are low to moderate income that can afford a rental property at a lower cost. And the primary purpose of me being on this call today and being on this video conference call is related to the Home Buyer Assistance Program. So we do have programs available. These are citywide programs that can assist to fix city-owned tax foreclosures. The assistance can range anywhere from up to $20,000, but there are different levels and different programs that we administer that can help anywhere between $20,000, $25,000, and $30,000, depending on where the property is located. Initially, the program was developed through the Strong Neighborhoods Plan, and that plan has been in place for about close to 7 years now. And it has helped many families throughout the process, but it also has helped in terms of properties that have passed their life expectancy. We have invested money on demoing some of those properties and creating vacant lots and creating opportunities for individuals within the community to create beautiful garden spaces and to create a little bit more of a healthy neighborhood. We do work with about 15 different programs, anywhere from down payment assistance to rehab assistance to emergency programs. We also work with targeted investment neighborhoods. We work with rental rehabilitation loan program sources. And we also work with community improvement projects. That means that we do have grant funds available to help beautify a neighborhood. And Sherman Park Community Association is one of those partners that do definitely a great job of creating opportunities for residents. Today, I'm not going to really focus on the programs, but what you should know is that there are several website links that you see here on the website on this presentation. I apologize. You'll see the Strong Neighborhoods Plan, the City Houses for Sale, and the Home Buyer Assistance Program. We do have properties that are constantly available on a monthly basis. So if you're interested in learning about what properties are available right now, you can click on these links. They're active live links. So you can click on these links. It'll take you to that website to visit that page. If we can move on to the next slide, please. This is what the Strong Neighborhoods Plan and Strong Homes Loan Program website looks like. If we can move on to the next slide. This is what the City of Milwaukee real estate website looks like. So you'll see a section that says current listing and a section that states extended listing, and there's more options. We also work with new construction properties. And on this website for the city real estate department, you'll see those opportunities for new construction opportunities in terms of grants and assistance that may be available. Next slide, please. And this is our main website for the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation. As you can see on the top corner, you'll find our phone number. If you have questions and you need to reach out to us, you can reach us at 414-286-5610. That's 414-286-5610. Next slide, please. And as I indicated, these links that you're going to find here. They're live, so you can definitely click on them and it'll take you directly to our website where you can learn more about our programs. My name again is Benjamin Sanchez. I appreciate this time and have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much, Benjamin. Again, a lot of great information from the City of Milwaukee and a lot of great resources. So please feel free to put your questions in the Q&A, and we will get to your questions. So if you have anything specific to ask of Benjamin or the City of Milwaukee processes and resources, please type it up and we will get to it, okay? So right now I would like to introduce one of our Take Group Milwaukee members, Great Midwest Bank. We have Jennifer Lamb and Brenda Brown that will present on the financing portion of, what you can expect in the home buying process. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you. So Great
Thank you.
Midwest Bank, I want to welcome everybody, first of all, on this beautiful Saturday morning. Great Midwest Bank is a community bank. Great Midwest Bank has been around for 85 years. Myself, I am the CRA loan officer, and I'm the assistant branch manager of our Bayside branch. And Jennifer, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am the branch manager and CRA loan officer at the Greenfield branch located on 27th and Layton.
So our job at Great Midwest Bank is to make sure, as the CRA loan officers, that the bank is serving the communities that have low to moderate income customers. I've been at Great Midwest Bank will be 3 years, and Jennifer has been here, how long, Jennifer?
2 years.
Yes. So who is Great Midwest Bank? We've been a local lender since 1935. We specialize in mortgage services, and we serve all areas of Wisconsin. Next slide, please. So that's a little bit about us. And then in today's presentation, we'll be talking about conventional loans, rehab loans, and home improvement loans. Getting started. One of the first things I like to do when someone contacts me about purchasing a home, my first question is, have you had your first time home buyer counseling? So what I do, because I used to be a housing counselor, the first thing I do is I try to refer them to a counseling agency like X Housing, Housing Resources, or UCC. The reason I do that as my first step is because I know how critical the education portion is for a first-time home buyer. It's worth the time to reach out to agencies like X Housing and Housing Resources and UCC so that you can get the proper education before you come to the bank to be pre-approved. So our partnership at Great Midwest Bank with X Housing, UCC, and HRI is very important, it's critical, and it saves the banker like myself and Jennifer a lot of time, because by the time we get the file at the bank, we already know that you've completed your counseling, you have your counseling certificate, which is very important so that we can see if you qualify for any grant assistance along with the mortgage loan. So once we receive your file from a counseling agency, then we can proceed to doing an application and get you pre-approved and get you ready to meet with a realtor. So things that we would need is we would need you to do an online application. When the online application is done, at that time, the bank will pull a credit report. When you have your credit pulled at X Housing, that is not a hit on your credit. But by the time you come to the bank, we do a tri-merge credit report. So we pull Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. We do not use Credit Karma. Credit Karma is not an agency that we use to pull your credit. And we need you to have at least a 620 minimum FICO score before we can start working with you for a mortgage loan. We will need to verify your income, your assets. Your assets are your checking, savings accounts. If you have any retirement or 401k, we'll need those documents as well. And then that's when we'll do the credit check. Then once we pull your credit, we'll start to look at your debt to income ratios to see how much debt you already have and if you can afford to take on the new debt of purchasing a home. We also will work with you if you have student loan debt. Each person's student loan debt is different. So we have to work with you one-on-one, and then we'll guide you through the steps to let you know how we're going to deal with the student loan debt. This is an example of what loan to value would be. You might want to purchase a home for $100,000. If you put down $10,000, then that means your loan to value is at 90%. Then we only need to give you a loan for $90,000. My personal goal is to have you put down as least amount of money as possible, try to get you as many grants as I can find. And that's what I try to do as my own personal mission statement. And at Great Midwest Bank, Jennifer and I do know where a lot of the grant programs are, what the guidelines are. And actually there are certain neighborhoods, if you don't qualify for a regular grant, there are neighborhoods that have down payment grant assistance. Jennifer and I know where those are, so we can help you with that as well, depending on where you want to purchase your home. Mortgage insurance is a specific scenario to each home buyer. The premium is a specific premium to each home buyer. And those are all things that we will look at to see if you need to have private mortgage insurance when you're trying to purchase your home, and if you qualify for private mortgage insurance. And it is a separate application process that we do at the bank. Next slide. You are pre-approved. Your credit report is valid for 120 days. Your pre-approval is valid for 120 days. If you go shopping and you can't find a home within 120 days, what I'll do is just renew your pre-approval certificate. So you don't have to feel pressured that, oh, I only have 120 days to buy a house. You can continue to work with your realtor and we'll just renew your pre-approval certificate, no problem. After you're pre-approved, then you'll be able to start working with your realtor. And just so you know, 99% of the realtors will not take you out looking at homes if you're not pre-approved first. So that's just a tip you might want to remember. Then you have to decide, do you want to look at a house that's move-in ready, or do you want to purchase a city foreclosure that might need some rehabbing? Those are all decisions that they can help you figure out actually at X Housing when you're working with your counselor. For move-in ready, we have conventional or WIDA loans, and Marquita will talk about that later. It requires PMI is private mortgage insurance if you're bringing in less than 20% as your down payment. And we do follow the Fannie Mae guidelines and debt to income and loan to value ratios. For rehab loans, we take a look at the purchase price, and then we look at the scope of work that needs to be done. And then we'll analyze how much money you would need to do both. Processing all loan types, we have to do the title work, we have to do an appraisal, you'll have to get homeowners insurance, then you're approved. What does the bank look at? We need 2 years of W-2s. We only need your federal 1040 taxes, no state taxes. We need 2 years of tax returns if you're self-employed, but you have to be profitable and you have to do a profit and loss statement. We need 2 months of your most recent pay stubs, 2 months of your bank statements for any checking and savings accounts. We have to verify your identification. And then of course, we have to do your credit pull. What is the cost? There's no cost to do a pre-approval. There is a cost to do the appraisal and inspection later on. Once you find the home that you want, you'll have to get homeowners insurance. There will be closing costs, the down payment portion. Hopefully we can get you some grant money, and then you'll have to get the private mortgage insurance if you're not putting 20% down. Jennifer, would you like to go over the home improvement special?
Sure. So we at Great Midwest Bank have a home improvement special. So for those of you who have family members or friends who are already homeowners and they're looking to spruce up their home, our home improvement special allows families to take a loan up to $20,000 at a 1.99 interest rate that's fixed for 5 years. The work that has to be done on the property has to be done or completed by a licensed contractor. And it's pretty neat because it allows you to you don't have to pay for an appraisal. My apologies. You don't have to pay for an appraisal. And we will use the city assessment of your property tax bill. And that's what we go off of. So it's a pretty neat program. And I encourage anyone who knows anyone who's interested in fixing their roof or updating the porch to call Brenda or I.
This is our contact number. And Jennifer and I are here and available to help you. One of the things you want to remember is when you decide to become a homeowner, there will be a team of professionals that will work with you. You'll have your counseling agency, you'll have your bank, you'll have your realtor, you'll have your insurance agent, you'll have your home inspector. So it takes a team of professionals to help you achieve your goal of home ownership. All of us are experienced professionals in our industries, and we're here to serve you.
Thank you so much, Brenda and Jennifer. I know this is a lot of information. So again, I encourage everyone to click on the links to contact everyone who's presenting here today. Like I said in the beginning, you will receive this presentation via email as a follow-up email, and you will have a link to view this webinar once again. And we are getting short on time. So I just want to ask the panelists that if you see a question that you can answer on the chat, please go ahead and do so. As we have a dead stop at 11 a.m. So right now I want to introduce Marquita Jefferson from WIDA.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you all so much for attending this morning's housing workshop. As Joanna mentioned, my name is Marquita Jefferson, and I am an account executive with WIDA. We are very pleased that you would like to explore homeownership today, and I'm excited to be able to share with you how WIDA can guide you toward your future home, because in so many cases, owning is less expensive than renting. I want to start by telling you a little bit about WIDA. WIDA stands for Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority. We're the housing finance authority for the state of Wisconsin. And we're a mission-driven organization. And as such, we're here to help today's renters become tomorrow's homeowners. And we do that through programs that are tailored to fit an individual's needs. WIDA's programs are available through our approved lending partners. And we work with over 130 of them across the state of Wisconsin. So you can access WIDA through local partners right here in the Milwaukee area. Next slide, please. With WIDA, homeownership can happen in just 6 simple steps. We don't make it complicated. It's here for you in 6 simple steps. Managing your money, finding a WIDA lending partner, learning about mortgage programs available to you, completing homebuyer education through partners like X Housing, shopping for your home, and then becoming a homeowner. Next slide, thank you. WIDA has two first mortgage program options that consumers can qualify for to meet their home buying needs: our Advantage conventional loan and our Advantage FHA loan. Our first mortgage options are 30-year fixed rate loans with low interest rates. Keep in mind that WIDA does require owner occupancy for the life of the mortgage loan. Next slide. For so many consumers, saving for a down payment can be a huge obstacle to homeownership. So WIDA offers two different down payment assistance options to help consumers overcome this obstacle. One of our down payment assistance options is called Easy Close, and the other is called Capital Access. Next slide. When either of WIDA's down payment assistance options is combined with a WIDA first mortgage, they provide for 100% financing for home buyers. In addition, keep in mind that grants can be used in tandem with WIDA loans, as Ms. Brown mentioned from Great Midwest Bank. And when you utilize those, home buyers can finance up to 105%. The property types that can be financed using WIDA first mortgages and DPAs are single families, condominiums, double wide manufactured homes, and 2 to 4 units. Next slide. So in our current home buying market, we realize, and many consumers are discovering too, that finding just the right home can be a challenge because not every home is move-in ready. WIDA's conventional HOMESTYLE renovation loan is the answer for that. With our HOMESTYLE renovation loan, you can purchase an existing home and renovate it before you move into it. And all of the costs associated with your renovation, including up to 6 months of mortgage payments, can all be financed. You find a house and WIDA will help you make it a home with our HOMESTYLE renovation loan. Next slide. So if you want to learn about WIDA's options, you can participate in one of our webinars. We have them monthly and they're live, and in them, we take you through the steps of homeownership and we provide resources for you so that you can be an educated consumer. Next slide, please. This summer, WIDA will also have a home improvement loan for existing homeowners. We call it HILP for short. And this loan product, again, is available for existing customers who are looking to make repairs to their home. WIDA's HILP loan is a 15-year fixed rate loan with low competitive rates. Next slide. You can access our resources and again, register for one of our webinars by going to WIDA.com and visiting our homeownership and renters area. Next slide. The WIDA single family sales team is here to guide you towards your future home, again, with affordable housing products tailored to fit your individual needs and with information and resources to make sure you as a consumer have a thorough understanding of the home buyer process. You can also find who WIDA lending partners are in the Milwaukee area by visiting WIDA.com. We've got a lender link there and you can search for it or search through it for a lender by name or by city or by county. And keep in mind that WIDA's products, especially that HOMESTYLE renovation loan, is what many consumers have utilized to purchase foreclosure properties. As Joanna mentioned, we'll have time for Q&A after all of the presenters have shared their information, but thank you. And we look forward to working with you at WIDA.
Thank you so much, Marquita. That's a lot of great information. Again, you are encouraged to use the live links in this presentation when you receive it as a follow-up email. And I just want to let you know that, Take Group Milwaukee has other members who are financial institutions. And again, feel free to visit our website to see, which lender would fit your needs. But we receive great information with Great Midwest Bank and from WIDA, so I encourage you to follow up with them, okay? And if I can just ask the panelists, the lenders, to answer the questions in the Q&A Q&A right now because we are running out of time. But last but not least, we have the wonderful Mr. Arthur Mays Sr., a very experienced realtor here in Milwaukee, to walk you through his representation as you go through the home buying process. Welcome, Arthur.
Hi, thanks. Hi, everyone. Of course, my name is Arthur Mays with Realty Among Friends. We are a company that is designed to help you to find your first home and get into the property as quickly as possible. Gives you a little bit about me. I've been living in the city all of my life, so I am a Milwaukee native. Been doing real estate now for a little over 23 years. So that's a little bit about me. I want to jump into the meat and potatoes, but I know you all are sitting at home or you're going to be listening to this later. So I always like to have you repeat after me before we get started. So if you're at home, please make sure panelists, you are on the hook. So they got to hear you. So you have to unmute yourself and say it. All right. I, come on, panelists.
I
Will not
Will not
not
go looking for a home
go
go
looking
looking
for a
for a
home
home
until I'm pre-approved.
Until I'm
until
pre-approved.
All right, thank you, panelists. Go ahead, next slide, please. This is our team. We have a team of agents. There's also another assistant, and we are hiring another agent. The people in our company, actually, I hire them. Only people I bring aboard our company is people who I know who really care about the community and want to see you succeed in getting into your first home. Go ahead, next slide. Selecting the right house. You have to decide what you need versus what you want. If we work on what you need versus what you want, you may need 3 bedrooms. You may want 7. Okay, really focus on what you need, because if you pick a house that fits what your family needs, it's a lot easier. And by doing that, you'll figure out what you want. You'll be able to pick from the houses that's out there and decide which ones you want. There's something called the multiple listing service. The multiple listing service is a service that allows us to take all of the properties and put them in one place. Okay, and so when you go on the different websites like Realty Among Friends, Realtor.com, any of those other different websites, you're allowing your opportunity to see the properties that are on the market from everyone. Now you need to make sure that you're comparing the properties. You don't want to look at just one house and say, oh yeah, I made my decision. Sometimes you want to look at more than one house. Next slide. That brings us to the different options out there. Please, no one on this pay for a list of properties. Do not pay for a list of foreclosure properties, because a lot of times the list that they sell you is outdated. And sometimes the property was sold 2 years ago and they're selling it to people as they are new properties. There are several different types of property. There's one called HUD properties. HUD properties are properties that HUD puts on the market, and HUD is the federal government. Basically, if they take a property back in foreclosure, they will put that property out there sometimes for what we call less than the full value of the property, because they believe in something called sweat equity. Sweat equity is when you go in, you fix up the house to make it do what you would like it to do. Next thing is we have city properties, as you heard Benjamin talking about earlier. The city properties will give you an opportunity to purchase a property. And if you're okay with doing some repairs, it's a wonderful opportunity, because you get into a property that you actually watch it bloom into something newer. When I say newer, it looks in new condition by the time you get all that work done, and you'll be able to live in your house comfortably.
Arthur, can you please add something on that section there?
Yes, please.
Okay, the other thing I would like to clarify is that the City of Milwaukee also works with cash transactions. So if you decide that you have enough money and you want to do this on your own without using a bank, we can also work with you.
Yes, and even with the cash transaction, you could still do, Benjamin, correct me if I'm wrong, you could still do the up to $20,000 towards repair if you're going to live into the property. Now,
That's correct.
And let's recap on that up to 20. So if the property is, let's say 15, it was cost 5,000 to buy the property, and then the work was 25, that's 30. You would only qualify up to 15, not up to the 20, because the city is not going to put more in it than you are. Is that correct, Benjamin?
Correct. We will help with up to 50% of the cost of the rehab only.
Right. All right, so the next thing is REO, or what we call foreclosure property. REO is just bank-owned properties. That's what it means. Again, do not pay for a list. And then there's the one that we run into a lot, which is called traditional sales or standard sales. That's where you have a buyer and you have a seller. So that is what we call traditional sales. Go ahead, next slide. Now, we got to know, when you get ready to go out there, you got to know what type of market you're in. Right now, it's a seller's market. So if this property was on the market, how many people come in? All these people now want that property. That makes it a seller's market. We are dealing with something that we haven't dealt with in a long time, or ever since I've been in real estate. We're seeing properties go on the market and people are bidding 10, 15, 20,000 over the asking price. Well, if you have all those people looking, that could happen. So when you're out there, just remember, you shouldn't do things like, we're seeing even crazier things like no home inspections on the offer. It is in your best interest to get a home inspection when you're purchasing a property, because that's going to be how you know what's going on in that property prior to. Next slide. Basically, what we want to tell you guys is, please remember one thing. When you're getting out there and you're looking for a house, we want you to all understand that these properties are properties that you are going to live in. We want you to pick the house that's right for you. Do not get in a panic just because you see a bunch of people going into a property. Just remember this. If you're buying a property and you want to write on that property, I want you all to remember this. The easiest way to get out of an offer to purchase is don't get in it. If you're not sure about the property, I always say, if it was meant for you, you're going to get that property. If it's not meant for you, there's nothing we're going to do to make it where you're going to get into that property. So you can spend a lot of money and someone always going to bid more than you because it wasn't meant for you. And remember, do not tell your landlord where to stick his keys until you have your keys. Now, with all that said, everybody on here has an opportunity to get them a house. Basically, what it takes to get you there is not the big thing. It's all about, you know, that you can get one. So it has been my pleasure to be able to speak before you all today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Arthur. And I'll just say, that I know personally that Arthur is filled with way more information, way more wisdom, and that he truly does care about the community and helping people through the home ownership process. So I encourage you to please give him a call. Again, all his contact information is on the slides that you will receive after this presentation. But we also have other realtors that are part of Take Group Milwaukee. So if Arthur doesn't answer your phone, give him your phone call, give him a few minutes, maybe a day.
Don't worry, I'll answer your phone.
But there's other, neighborhood partners, other realtors that are part of Take Group Milwaukee that would love to be able to help you. So it looks like we answered all the questions that came up. There's a specific question here for Benjamin. I don't know if you saw it, Benjamin.
You probably didn't.
She has a specific question about her mother. She's looking to live in her home that she does buy. She's looking to sell her current one, but does need assistance in buying her next one.
That would also be a question. Usually what we do is, if you're interested in selling a property first, we prefer to actually sit down with you and figure out what is the best terms that you should do. So if you're going to look at city properties, a lot of times we can look at those and don't sell the current property until after we've assured that you're going to get the city property, so your mom has somewhere to live.
And again, feel free, to contact these people, these resources, these professionals directly to get more information. So there was a question about how do you choose a great realtor? I would say interview them like you would interview any other professional, right? When you're choosing a doctor, when you're choosing a bank, a lot of our business is about relationships. So, I encourage you to, like I said, interview that realtor, because you're going to be spending a lot of time.
Yeah.
You're going to be putting a lot of trust in them, and the process will be, an extensive
Yeah.
process. So you want to be able to work with somebody who's going to be with you from the
And
beginning
definitely
to
pick
the
somebody
end.
who's going to pick someone who's going to spend some time with you.
Yes, definitely. So again, thank you so much, everyone who has asked questions. Thank you for joining us today. Again, we will follow up with an email with both the presentation and the YouTube link to watch this presentation again. We hope that you share it with a loved one or, a neighbor who may need these resources. Please visit our website for other information. Please visit one of our other webinars happening this morning. So we thank you again. Thank you to all our panelists, all of our Take Group members here today. We really appreciate you doing this, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.